doing real estate, man, like this, it funds a great lifestyle. And we got today a guy named Mark Sestilio. He's got 3 things he wants help with. Number 1, he's been doing houses for a long time. He wants to he's transitioning into land. He wants to make $1 million a year. So how does that kind of work? 2, due diligence. How do you know you're making the right offer on the right properties? And number 3, what things could he outsource to scale as quickly as possible? How you doing, man?
Hey, Joe. Good. How you doing?
Good, Mark. You are a student of my course. You have my program, and you're going through it right now. And you just started doing some direct mail recently, right?
First campaign started, went out just last Monday, doing 1,000 letters a week, and
nice.
Already got a bunch of leads, and I should, crossing fingers, but I should have a contract back tonight.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I recommend starting with direct mail like you're doing. It's the best kind of lead to get because they're calling you. It's not an outbound cold call or text. They're calling you. You're going to convert a much higher percentage of them. For your houses, what kind of marketing have you done?
I've kind of done it all. Direct mail, I've done texting, I've outsourced it to other companies, did some PPC and Facebook marketing and stuff. And, there's a lot of adjustments that had to be kind of made. And especially at least in my market, that's really, really competitive. Direct mail to me is just the way to go. And with an increase, just a way better response rate than houses, at least from what you said, because I don't have a big data set right now on the direct mail, but I believe you. And I think that it's already showing,
So what I recommend to people, and you should think about this as well, when you find a good county with direct mail, take that same list and skip trace it and have a company text it for you. Texting for land is a lot easier than houses, a lot less competition. And when we do the text, it's really, really simple. It's just, hey, Jim, do you own a 2.6 acre lot in XYZ County? If they respond back yes, the next text is, great, you wouldn't be interested in maybe selling it, would you? Or, you change it around. You wouldn't entertain an offer, would you? If they say yes, the next text is, what's an email address? We'll send you an offer. So those 3 questions, you're not negotiating the price. You're not trying to get a number from them or anything. Not even trying to get information about the property. Super simple. And you get about, for every 10 leads I get from direct mail, I might get 15 leads from texting, a little bit more. The quality is not as good maybe, but it is what it is. When they respond, that goes into FreedomSoft, and then you do the normal thing where you send an offer. So if you're going to scale, you got to do, I'm going to suggest more than just one type of marketing.
Sure.
Start with direct mail to find the good counties, and you've got to get a good response rate. You're selling them well, good high demand for the properties. Then start looking at texting. Then start looking at cold calling on top of that. Yep. And then mail them again 4 or 6 months later. Maybe instead of a letter, send them a postcard, right? Similar to houses. When you pick a state, I recommend, picking 3, 4, 5, 6 counties in each of those, mail them all. And then you're going to find some good counties and bad counties. When you find the good county, maybe mail them every 3 to 4 months. And then, you're going to find good counties that you just find your honeypot in, right? That's like, man, I want to go deep in there. So then mix it up. Send them a letter one time. Send them a postcard the next time. Send them a handwritten yellow letter another time. Text them, cold call them, and all of that good stuff. And especially when you find a county with a good realtor that can market these properties well for you, definitely go deep into that, right? And not to say you can't do houses later on, because you probably still have a ton of leads. You can still be following up with them.
I do, yeah.
So probably I would suggest stop marketing for houses. With your houses, forget about rehabbing anything for at least a few years, right? In my opinion, stop rehabbing tomorrow and just focus on wholesaling everything, because who knows what the market's going to do. And the great thing about, even with land, when you're wholesaling land, it's like you're just trading paper. There's no risk at all when you're selling paper. You're just flipping paper is what you're doing, right?
I love the concept, Joe. I got interested in real estate in college. So, more than 20 years ago. And I wanted to be a real estate investor. And, I got stuck into I got drawn into the shiny object of making, $50,000 plus on a flip, and kind of forgot about the rental portfolio goal. I mean, I do have a small rental portfolio, but, the margins are just not anywhere near what the seller financing margins are on these land deals. And that's what I'm most excited about. In fact, this deal that I'm supposed to get under contract, my first lead and my first land deal, I'm getting under contract a little bit higher than maybe you would suggest, but I can't say no to it, because with using a private lender, I'm looking at probably a $750 a month positive cash flow.
That's just insane. So
with zero money.
Yeah.
I mean, marketing dollars, but like, because it's a little bit more expensive property, like it's worth 90 to 100 grand.
Yeah. So when you're selling with owner financing, for every one call that you get from a buyer wanting to pay cash, you'll probably get 5 calls from buyers wanting to owner finance.
Yeah.
So even in a slowing economy, maybe it's not as high as it was a year or two ago, but when you sell it on terms with owner finance, that's the fastest way to wealth, in my opinion, because now you're getting monthly cash flow from that. And it is way more passive, if there is such a thing, but it's way easier, that monthly income from land, than it is for houses, because you don't have the typical tenant and property management stuff that you have to worry about with
toilets.
So, and you're so much less money into it too, right? You're not spending. So, okay, let's get back here though. Your goal is to make, I think you wrote down here, 50 grand a month doing land. One of my biggest advice to you would be on a board where you can see it. I don't know if your team is virtual or how you manage your team, but you got to track your numbers and hold yourself accountable to that. All right. And then you'll figure out, okay, which counties are working, which ones aren't, which letter is working, which one isn't, what's working better, letters or texting. And you should be able to know your numbers down to the point where if you send 756 letters, you will get a deal that will average you $9,764 in net profit or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So you figure that out by tracking your numbers. It's really important that you break that down into, now you know every week what you have to send. And if, in the last week, you've only made 3 offers a day, you need to pick up the pace, find out what's going on. Maybe you need to send more marketing. Maybe you sent some marketing to a bad county. It makes sense? All right. So anytime you want to scale, you have to kind of track those KPIs into a marketing plan. And the marketing plan needs to be on a scorecard. And it could be on a whiteboard or a spreadsheet. I want my VA, my virtual assistant, to track and manage those numbers. I want to see every day, are our numbers being met? How many offers did we send the last week? Because that's all that matters in this business is offers. How many offers did you make? And then you'll figure out from that point, okay, well, if I want to send 1,300 letters a week and my average response rate is 3%, that's 39 leads a week. That's a lot for just one guy to do. So what I do is I have a VA that handles every incoming lead that comes in. And then before I even look at it, they will do the preliminary research on it, right? They'll go in and put into FreedomSoft the Google Map link. They'll put in the APN number, the parcel ID, or the coordinates. They'll also put in, they'll find the property on Zillow and make sure the property's in the center of the map, and then give me that link to Zillow. They'll look it up in MapRight. They'll put in the information from Priced in there to tell me how much Price says I should offer, et cetera. So now when I look at that lead, this is the first thing you should outsource, is like handling the voicemails that are coming in. And so you just click a few buttons and you can research it and look to see, all right, Price says I should offer 10, but looking at Zillow, I should probably offer 7. And then you can do a couple things at that point. If you've got a really good VA, you could just Voxer the VA or write in a task in that FreedomSoft to send the seller an offer for 7K, right? You don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Create a task for the VA to send an offer for 7K, and then boom, you move on to the next one. Or you change the status to reviewed, send an offer, and that triggers a task for the VA, right? then you can just bang, you can go through, 5, 10, 15 leads really quickly when you have those kinds of statuses set up in FreedomSoft or whatever CRM you're using. I would not outsource the talking to the sellers part. That's got to be you, right?
Right.
But I have, you can have a VA give you links to the 3 best sold comps, the 3 best active comps. They can pull a comp report from Priced if you want that. So there's a lot that they can do for you. And as you get more familiar with this and how it works, all of that data entry, $5 an hour activity stuff, you want to get off of your plate as soon as possible so you can just see the lead as it comes in.
Yeah.
Now, how does a VA actually send the offers for you? I use click to mail, email to mail. So, and that's something your VA can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then your VA does all the follow-up. This is important.
Right.
Any lead that comes in, you don't want to be the FreedomSoft expert, Mark. You want the VA, the virtual assistant, to be the FreedomSoft expert for you. So they process every incoming notification, every incoming lead, whether it's a return call or a new lead or whatever. They manage all of that. Every single lead, this is important, every single lead in your CRM has a task assigned to somebody in the future with a date for follow-up. So that task says, send an offer, follow up in 30 days or something. And then your VA manages all of that. Where do you find these VAs? So I go to Upwork.
Yeah.
I'll do a general admin executive assistant VA. They don't have to have real estate experience. They don't have to have FreedomSoft experience. I just want somebody who's good and reliable full-time.
Right.
I'm going to hire 3 of them. I'm going to test each of them for a period of a week or 2. I'm going to give them a bunch of little work, very detailed instructions. And I want them to not just do what I'm telling them to do, but also have they can do the research and figure out how to do it also themselves. I'm going to make them watch a bunch of FreedomSoft tutorial videos.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go tell them to scrape 5 properties off of Zillow and put them into a new campaign and do this stuff, right? So then you hire the best one who gets the work done on time, who follows the detailed instructions. And 9 times out of 10, doing it just like that, giving them tests, you'll find a really good VA. They make them go through my course, make them watch all the FreedomSoft tutorial videos, and then have a daily call with them every day for at least the first few weeks.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, you're going to find somebody really good doing that, right? I also find good VAs on onlinejobs.ph from the Philippines, onlinejobs.ph. And you want to make sure you find some really good quality reviews, VAs with good reviews in the past. You're going to learn the due diligence process. And one of the biggest things that's going to be most important to you is hiring a realtor to market your homes. If you're going to be doing $50,000 a month, you've got to have a realtor helping you with this. And to find the realtors, the good ones, sometimes you got to make a lot of calls, work with a bunch of them until you find 1 or 2 that actually are really good. But there's a lot of things you can do. Like you can look on Zillow, actives and solds, look for the realtors that got good pictures of the properties, that got drone photography, that, had lots of good pictures with blue sky in the horizon, not from a phone and not from a Google Street View map image, but realtors that put some time and effort into it. Pay them generous, pay them minimum 10% commissions on their deals. Maybe even give them a percentage of the profit if they sell it for you, right? You have to look at a realtor as like somebody on your team, as a partner on your team. So you want to get a good one. You can also look at land.com. If you see a realtor that's paying for the premium listing space on the land.com websites in that market that you're in, that's a good realtor to talk to and get their help. Keep this in mind too. You're not going to get a good realtor on the lower price properties. Realtors typically are only going to want to be in the $30,000 to $50,000 range and up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Mark, for your time, man. Appreciate it. Hope this was helpful.
Thanks, Joe. Great meeting you in person.
We'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye, everybody.